Let's start the podcast.
I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
There is no reason to be alarmed. For safety reasons, all passengers must proceed to their assembly point.
I think you have to leave.
On deck
I think you have to go. There's an emergency, man.
This is real. This is a
I'm
real
glad we're
emergency.
recording.
I gotta go
Yeah, this
because
is a great opening. This is a great opening.
All luggage behind.
You want to just let it roll and I'll take over the whole hour, or are you going to come back?
Pair life jackets, including those for children.
This could be the last
Hold on,
time if you're on
hold on.
Patreon. We may never see Al again. He's
Holy
got to grab
shit.
his life jacket. You guys are going down.
We're in Nassau. All right, I gotta go. This is real.
All right.
We now return to our regularly scheduled podcast.
A bunch
Yeah.
of people were leaving. They're going, "Is this a drill? Is this a drill?" They said it. The language barrier. They said it out of context and backwards.
Right. It did
Said-
sound real from even here.
No, they didn't word it properly, and
Right.
I've been running into that issue.
Did you bring your wig and dress and a baby for the drill just in case?
Last night on stage, I said hot chicks and comedians to the lifeboats, which was apropos for today. But yeah, I got all that stuff.
Is this, you brought a guest in here?
Assembly station. I repeat, all stairway guides, cabin and crew evacuation team.
Good God,
Order
Magnum.
side door team.
They were an hour and 15 minutes into the drill.
Mike
and
hungry motherfucker.
How long does the drill usually last? About an hour?
40 minutes? 45 minutes?
45 minutes. Basically, they were doing a drill with a fire. It's a controlled
Mm.
fire. And they said, don't be alarmed. There may be some residual smoke, but don't worry about it. It's just a drill. So they're practicing putting out a fire.
Right.
I'm guessing, which they do occasionally.
Right.
So then they came on. They said they didn't say it was a drill or a exercise. They just said, all passengers in your cabins, come out of your cabins now and report to
Right.
your muster station. So there's
Right.
no like exercise. This is just a drill.
No.
Nothing. So that's when we were on the air.
I was here.
And then I
Yeah.
open my door and I see other people coming out. Is this real? Is this real? And some classy guy down the hall right here goes, I was in the middle of taking a shit and I had to pinch it short. Best 4 years of my life in the Navy.
Yeah. That's right.
Only for exercise.
Come
Thank you.
on.
Ask you to remain in your assembly point and follow the instructions given by our crew. We are trained for this situation, and we will get you to
Do you know what I did
safety
after we spoke?
shortly.
I went in the safe. I grabbed my passport, my wallet, my watch, my
Really?
ring, my wedding band, and then I grabbed my backpack. I threw this computer in so that we'd have a copy.
You really thought things were happening, huh?
Well, I just thought I thought there was going to be residual smoke, which I've seen before on a ship. I've seen the residual smoke where it was a real fire, and I've also pulled up to a ship when they had just put out the stack fan.
Evacuation
Come on, man.
with minimum personnel.
This is bullshit. I mean, this
Yeah,
guy
it's-
is.
no, I'm telling
this
you
is
right
noise
now,
pollution.
They had a drill with real fire,
Fuck.
and it got out of hand.
Yeah. But I mean, this is too much with the on the mic. What is MSC stand? Is that shipping company?
Yeah, it's an old shipping company that was Italian, and then they turned it into a cruise line company, which I think Royal Caribbean did way back in the 60s or 50s.
I don't know.
And now they were purchased by a Swiss company, so it's being operated out of, I think, Geneva or somewhere, or Bern. Is it Bern? Switzerland? What's the deal? Have you ever been to Switzerland?
I've never been. No, sir.
No. Okay.
No, I'm not up on the Swiss.
Now, when I was in sixth grade, David Zuber, his parents were Swiss, and they migrated to the United States.
Are we recording right now?
Yeah.
This is podcasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't sure what we're doing.
We're giving a little bit of
we're-
history here. Well, we were interrupted, ladies and gentlemen and listeners, and whatever you identify as. We started the podcast today, two L's, one pod. We're both on cruise ships. What a surprise! And my
early
ship is in
morning.
the middle. My ship is in the middle of the drill, and it usually goes about 45, 55 minutes, hour tops. We're at an hour and 20 with the drill. I think they simulated a fire or had a small fire, and they were putting it out, and the residual smoke got around, and they had to warn everybody that it was a drill, but they didn't say drill at one point, and all the passengers get up and ready to go.
That sounded real, even from my
Yeah.
spot here. It sounded like something's going on. Got to get the
There's
baby
definitely been
and
some
the wig
language barriers. By the way, I don't speak a lick of any language, and I have trouble with English as it is. But
That's for sure.
most people here are bilingual or trilingual, but the context is mixed. For instance, the cruise director came on and said, "Welcome to Nassau, Bahamas. All you will need, I repeat, all you will need to leave the ship and come back on is your sea pass card, okay? All you need is to get your sea pass card. And if you are 16 and older, you must have a photo ID." So he's saying it backwards.
He stinks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone, when you go off on and listen, if you go off on these islands and just always bring your license anyway. You never know. Just bring your license. You don't need a passport.
I didn't bring my C-Pass card. It's like, why? You're in a foreign country.
Just
bring
your
some
wallet
form of ID.
And,
now, many places you
card.
don't need your passports. Just a photo, a government-issued photo ID. And if you don't have one, bring your passport.
Right. And you'd want that anyway. You're just wandering around. What if something happened? What if a rock fell and hit you in the head?
You're unconscious.
You're going to lay there. You're no one. You're John Doe or Jane Doe. I mean, you got to be ID'd there, pal. ID and me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where are you? So you're in Nassau. Is that you're in Nassau today?
I know. We're
in St. Martin. And
you're going to go to our little place there?
I don't know. I'm on the fence. I was going to ask you about it because it's 1,000 degrees out.
See, there you go.
It's a good hike to Juggies, which we love Juggy, and I love the place. But it's 1,000 degrees, and then you get there and you sit on a plastic chair in 1,000-degree heat, smoking a cigar in an alleyway and drinking a beer. I mean, or I can stay here.
Air conditioning,
in the air conditioning, free food, and if I want a cigar, I get in a covered area, and I already have a cigar with me. So it's sort of save $50, don't get fucking drenched in sweat, and have to sit in a chair in an alley and probably entertain people because he tells people here's a comedian, and then you're sort of on.
Oh, how long you been doing that? Do you live on the ship? Do you go are you married? Do you have kids? How does that work?
Do they pay you? Do you get a free
my
cruise?
nephew is a stand-up comedian. He's doing very well. He's been doing it for 6 months now, and he's getting there.
He's good. Yeah. I'm sure he's very good. Definitely film a special, put it on YouTube. He's the guy. What would you do in this situation? You're
sit my ass on the ship.
Yeah, you're not leaving.
No,
exactly.
The heat factor has a lot to do with it. Now, if if I've had a couple of sea days, I might suck it up, just to get the exercise in. But I'll stop stop at an air conditioned place, and if I don't have any shows, I might have a cold beer. I might even have lunch. But it's much more expensive than it used to be like just a couple of years ago. It's just the prices have just soared.
No, if I go off the ship, just a lunch and a beer or two, I'm doing over $50.
All crew members, please make sure to scan your cards.
Oh, your guest today sucks. This guy he's not funny. He's not interesting.
Damn. I will say that if you did do Juggies, if it wasn't so hot, you can order a sandwich or a cheeseburger right there, and then he'll give you for $5. You'll get 2 cold beers. Oh, motherfucker!
Right. What's happening now?
Again, to all crew members, after the drill, please proceed to the.
Hope you're on Patreon, folks. Don't saying a word. Just enjoy it. This is unsat, man. This is ridiculous.
We are coming up on an hour and 25 minutes.
No, unsat.
I'm telling
By the
you,
way,
they had a real fire. They had to.
Yeah, that hamburger thing. That's Juggy's son, who has the restaurant across from Juggy.
Keeping it
That's
in the
his
family.
son. Food is really good there. Yeah. But then you get the cheeseburger, you bring it over, you got to sit in the alley again. It's 100 degrees, it's sweaty.
If it's not 100
None
degrees,
of it's appealing.
Yeah,
right now.
I get
now.
0590.
He's playing bingo.
Good God, this is some luxury
in
cruising
Swahili.
right there. People are laying in bed having some breakfast. Nope.
0676.
I can't jerk
This
off
guy's
to
going to
this.
show off. I can count.
0820.
Look, I know my numbers.
This coffee is insanely good.
Really?
I didn't have to add any of my stuff to it, and the cream, it's not American half and half, and I had cereal yesterday. The milk is just different. It's just they're not getting it from American distributors. So what are they doing? They're flying it in because it's still cheaper.
I don't know. I don't know what they do. I've never been there. Never.
The quality of food.
Never experienced it. I'm drinking some Royal Caribbean mud.
Well, I told you what to do to that.
Well, yeah, but I'm on the ship. How can I do anything? I can't add things to it at this point.
My wife gets these.
What's that?
The espresso Medaglia Dioro. And that's the espresso instant coffee. And I'm telling you right now, you put like just like a half a teaspoon in that swill, and it brings it to life. It's like
really?
paddles. Yeah. It's like
it's another thing to pack. I got another thing.
No, I understand that, but I've been on the road for 5 weeks. So she said, "Do you want this?"
You have not been on the road for 5 weeks. You've not been on the road for 5 weeks. What are you talking about? I was home. You were home a couple weeks ago.
I went home for 4 days.
All right.
So out of 6 weeks, I've been on the road for 5.
All right. When do you go home at the end of this cruise?
Monday, yeah.
You go home Monday.
Unless I get fired.
What if they say, "Hey, Al, you're doing such a bang up job here. We'd love to keep you for another week." Are you staying?
Well, this is the one that they offered me a 4-day cruise, full pay. And then I got an email a couple of days later. Would you be interested in doing a 3-day cruise, full pay? So for 7 days, I'm getting 2 paychecks.
You motherfucker.
I said, nice. Yes, but I thought I was going to be on another ship. It's the same ship. So I'm like, how does that work?
Nice. Well, it's great.
But it's 2
different cruises.
Yes.
Are you getting the same people staying on?
No.
Okay. That's good.
But here's the thing. The 4-day cruise.
Here's the rub.
5 shows. I had 5 shows.
5 shows?
I have one more tonight. 3 late night adults at 11:30 p.m. and 2 family-friendly shows.
So you have 3 adult shows. You're repeating the same show 3 times?
Well, here's the thing.
You're going to have the same audience.
Here's the thing.
This is bullshit.
Cruise director says, okay, there's some bigwig from MSC on board. So he overloaded.
Giuseppe's here.
Giuseppe's here.
Mario.
He overloaded the schedule. He's got, he booked my shows the same time as karaoke across the hall in a lounge from the theater. And then he's got like at the same exact time, he's got like 3 or 4 events. Usually they stagger them just a little bit, just to 2,800 passengers. It's a smaller. It's so funny.
2,800. Holy shit! That's tiny.
It's a smaller. Isn't that funny? How
that's tiny.
10 years ago, 2,800 was massive.
Yeah, that was big, but right.
But
so what are you doing for
the first night
adult shows? 3 different shows.
Attention, please. Assembly. Passenger assembly station. Passenger assembly station. Proceed to your survival craft now. Passenger assembly station. Proceed to your survival craft now.
Now he should say this is still a drill. This is just an exercise.
Of course.
He's not doing it.
Sounds real. Again, if I'm waking up and he goes, passengers, head to the lifeboats.
I was in the middle of taking a shit. I had to pinch it short.
I got to grab my socks, drop my cock, and get fucking moving.
Yeah.
But it's a drill, so I'll hold on my cock and keep the socks off.
Yeah, the other cruise lines say this is for the crew and the crew only. Drill.
Yeah, and then they're done. Done. They don't continue for an hour and a half. So answer my question here.
I'm
3 shows. What are you doing there? Like, what are you, 3 different half hours? Or
I'm doing your act.
What the fuck?
I'm doing,
please.
Please. I beat that joke to death.
Yes. We don't think it's a joke anymore. We believe you are doing my act.
Abandon ship.
Abandoned podcast.
There's gonna be there's some old fucker running around trying to abandon ship right now. There's some guy confused.
It was almost me. Look at me. I'm dressed.
They didn't say drill. They haven't said anything. So what are you doing with these 3 shows? Tell me.
I'm going to tell you.
Once again, the announcement is for the crew and for the crew only.
I've done 90 minutes of different material. And I do not have 90 minutes of.
I was going to say, and you have about an hour, so.
I told him that. I said I can cover an hour. I cover an hour and 15 minutes on average, but I just recently bumped my 60 minutes up on the website for cruise ships. They have a website they go to, as you know.
I bumped mine down.
Well, I put it to 75 minutes.
I put it to 40. I just said, fuck it. I got nothing here.
Well, you haven't done more than 40 in 2 years.
I haven't done more than 15 in a long time. I'm doing 20 this week on Wonder. It's
how are you going to make it? You got to stretch.
I'm pushing it. It hasn't been easy.
So here's how it went.
Yeah.
The crowds have been great. This is my second contract with this company. I did.
Well, they're exhausted from fucking going all day to the boats and the drills, so they're ready for the left.
About 5 weeks ago, I did one of these, and it was great. I think I did 2 shows in the theater.
I would do that as an opening tonight. I would just do that guy's impression of that guy for 5 minutes.
Oh, why? You don't think I'm not going to do that?
Oh, you have to. You have to. And then tell the story how you went to the lifeboat and sat there in a dress with a baby waiting.
And the guy sat across from me and says, I had to cut my shit short. So
that'll be on his comment card. How'd your cruise go? I had to cut my shit short.
The equivalent to the activities manager waits in the wings, and he goes, I have to be here in case he doesn't show up because sometimes he's running late. And sometimes this guy, he shows up he's wearing a sparkly jacket with a bow tie and sparkly shoes, and he's sweating, and he's sweating to death, and he's like very melodramatic. I did run from the other side of the ship. Oh, and it's like, well, we're 5 minutes late now in the theater, so can you introduce me? So, but this is fine because I just deduct that from my overall time, instead of doing 35 minutes. I'm doing 30, so
100%.
Yeah.
It all counts.
So the reason why I've been able to make it this far is because I probably performed an hour and 15 minutes, but I've performed 15 minutes of crowd work.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not saying this is a repeat or an encore performance. They're just saying he's here again. This is turned into the Al Ducharme comedy cruise. And apparently I have 5 hours of material.
That's the problem with a lot of these cruises like that. They don't say it's an encore performance, it's a repeat. So everyone's coming in thinking, what's a new show?
The cruise director said to me, he said, I have, you got the one here, you got Tree this night, had 3 last night, and then here. And so it's 5 shows. He goes, but you can do the same material. That's what he said to me. But he doesn't mean that.
You can do it. But it's the same audience.
I'm like, that's the issue. So
you can do it and bomb, sure.
Yeah, the activities director, director goes, this is the first time they've ever had a late night on the first night, plus all your other late night shows. And I said, well, if you're going to introduce me, will you tell them this is an encore performance? So he goes, yeah, I'll definitely do that. And he goes up, okay, everybody, welcome. Al Ducharme is here again. Da, 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 da. And there's women that have already attended 2 of my shows. They saw 2 different shows. So they're there.
Okay. They've seen a family show and an adult show.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're sitting in the front row. The other 2 shows, they were sitting in the front. And they said, is this going to be the same show?
Because we're getting the fuck out of here.
No, basically that's what it was.
Oh.
And he'll do a couple of new things, but you should stay. And they go, oh no, we've already seen him twice. And they were smart.
Oh.
They got up and left. And then people came in and took their seats.
Right.
And then I go out and take the barometer. How many people saw my family show? How many people saw my adult show? I go, okay, I'm going to do some new material, but I'll throw in a couple of bits that I've already done that you may or may not seen. And that way there,
yes, a couple of classics for you.
Yes. I go, I lied last night. I go, someone said, hey, can you do the grandfather bit? And I'm like,
yes.
Yeah, it's pretty hacky to do this, but I'm trying to save myself here,
Yeah, no, dude, when you got to do 5 shows in 4 days and the same audience, I mean, there's no all the hacky and all the rules go out the window. You got to survive.
Here's my issue.
That is not easy.
I'm trying to do well because it's a new line, and I'm trying to see how I fit. Yeah. The shows go great, so of course you're going to have a majority of the people coming back to see you again, thinking you're doing a whole new show. So if I had tanked,
right, that's why I go the other way. I go out and bomb, and that way no one comes back.
Yeah, you do the Jimmy D. You do the Jimmy D.
Though my fans book the cruise, and then I go out and bomb in front of them, and everyone's very sad and disappointed. But that's okay. That's a lot of shows, man. I don't know. That's why I like, at least with Royal, you're in the comedy club or you're in they've made a niche, you know what I mean? Like guys are comedy club people or they're theater people. They've made that, every now and then you do one of the other. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But generally you're in that group and you know what you're going to do. It's what I like. I mean, I come out here, I'm like, you're not getting 5 shows and that kind of thing.
I'm the hybrid comedian. They kind of like put me everywhere, and but I don't want to be overused if I'm doing the theater.
No, I mean? That's too much though. And again, it doesn't look good for the crowd. They're going on a cruise, and it's like, well, we like this guy Al Ducharme, but really every night, like you don't have anyone else. Are you kidding? We're over an hour with this fucking guy.
Once again, for all the crew members,
MSC sucks.
Hold on.
To the Royal Theater with your mobile.
He said it's over. He said the drill is now over.
Yeah. Okay. He'll come back though and tell us how it went and what else is going on today. Will you get off the ship in Nassau at this point in your career?
Usually I have a plan, and it usually involves exercise. But it's ungodly hot once again. Excuse me. So I am going to enjoy the elbow room. I don't have a show until.
Is that a gay club on the ship? That's where you head? The elbow room?
Yeah. Nice. It's right next to Fist Me.
Okay. All right.
I went there last night.
Hey now, I'm sure you did. After 3 shows.
I have my inflatable cushion I'm sitting on right now, the donut.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Anyways, current events. We had NFL football media. Biden has.
Oh, NFL? Are you ready?
He said the drill was over. Did you hear that? The high pitch?
No, I didn't hear it. So just keep going. I can't.
This mic blocks the high pitch.
I didn't hear it. What NFL? I'm not ready.
I highly recommend the hype mic.
I'm not ready for the NFL at this point. I got to be honest. We're in July. I need another month, and then I'll begin to go in that direction.
Is Dak worth $65 million a year? For the
hell no. No one. First of all, no one is, and secondly, a guy who hasn't been to the playoffs other than one game.
Yeah,
no, he's not. And any real Cowboy fan or fan would be like, well, why would you give him all our money? We need other things.
Right.
So no, he is not. And
shouldn't he be happy with $50 million a year?
He's good. He's not elite. He's not one of the best. So it's ridiculous. If he wasn't a Cowboy, I don't know if we'd even know his name. You know what I mean? Right. If he was just a guy on the Broncos, Prescott, okay, he's all right. But he's a Cowboy, and that's, they're on every fucking day. But no, he's not worth it. But did you see the owner, Jerry Jones, just settled out of court? He was in court with a paternity suit.
80 years old.
Yeah, some chick. She's in her 20s, and he's been denying it, and then they were in court.
He's a billionaire.
They were starting the trial. They were doing a real trial, and the day of, I guess he was like, "Fuck this," and reached an agreement. Paid her off. They reached an agreement.
He should have paid her off to begin with.
He claims it wasn't his, but I would be like, look, I'm 80 and I'm making babies. That's pretty impressive, Jerry. I mean, I can't believe she actually did it with him. I mean, he's a fucking ghoul, but
dude,
she's set for life now.
Billion with a B.
With a B.
Reviving that old joke.
Never got off the ground, god damn it. And you know what's funny about it is the people who know that joke or were around when I would try it, they all bring it up. So there's something there. Because like Jimmy Carroll, people like that will always go like billions with a B, which shows me there's something there. I just couldn't find it or get to whatever the joke was.
Neil Simon's brother. Neil Simon created the odd. His brother created the Odd Couple, and he couldn't get it to work. So Neil said, "Let me have a look at this. I think I can rework it."
Oh, really?
Yeah. The Odd Couple became.
So Neil Simon's a hack, is what you're saying? Took his brother's.
Admits it. He took his brother couldn't get it working, so he rewrote it, and he was a playwright, and they made it into a play, and then a movie, and then a television series.
He's one of those guys like the new generation of people, the younger generation, whatever they are, X or not X. What's the new one? Y or Z? What's the newest generation?
The latest one, you mean?
Yeah. What is that? Z?
Is it Z?
I'm guessing. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know.
So X what is millennial is what? Mid-20s to 40? Mid-20s to 38?
I don't know about all these. I'm not good with it. But anyway, my point is Neil Simon wrote 25 Broadway plays and classics. And I don't think anyone in their 20s right now knows who Neil Simon is.
No.
They don't know and they don't care.
No.
There's
playwriting is a dying art.
Right. But I mean, this guy wrote classic comedies. Now, they're not all great, but a lot of them are very good, very funny. And he doesn't matter at all now. Like where we still you and I, we didn't grow up with the Marx Brothers, but we still love the Marx Brothers and the Three Stooges. But the kids today, there's no history there. Like they don't give a fuck, which I don't know if it's good or bad, whatever, but I'm just saying it's weird to not know.
Even Shakespeare has fallen off quite a bit. I mean, the hardcore actors are still going to, Billy. Yeah.
Bill Shakespeare.
The hardcore actors are going to dabble with it and do that.
I think you have to theater. as a thing. If you're a real actor, you go, I did Lear.
I did this.
I did,
I was
Hamlet.
in King Lear. Did you play King Lear? No, I was the third guard on the right.
That's right. Yeah.
Who goes there? It's Halt.
Yeah. But isn't it weird, though? Like, I mean, Neil Simon, when we were young, he was coming out with a movie he was like once a year, a new movie came out. Again, not all great, but this guy really churned them out. And
Brighton Beach Memoirs was another one, right? Brighton Beach Memoirs.
Yeah, well, he did a trilogy of that. Remember, it was the one where the kid, it's supposed to be him. He goes to the army. So what was that called? Remember, that was Matthew Broderick.
Hill Street, Biloxi Blues.
Biloxi Blues, right.
Yeah.
And there was a trilogy, and then Brighton Beach Memoirs.
Right. I don't know the third one.
But also, I mean, not only The Odd Couple, he wrote The Goodbye Girl and all these. I mean, there's a million of them.
But also, they made those into films. So that was the big thing. If they didn't make your, what do you call it? Your play into a movie. Yeah. Yeah, if they didn't make it.
Well, I think in those days, he had a deal where it's like he wrote a play and then it was going to be a movie.
Yeah.
Like the studio already bought it. Whatever his next play is, we're making it a movie until they started fading in his later years. But anyway, it's just interesting to me that like people don't know who he is. Neil Simon. Meaningless. Hawk Tua, of course.
There you go.
But Neil Simon, no fucking way. So you won't get off the ship today? I think I'm going to stay on too. I'm not going to get. I can't. It's too fucking hot. It's too hot. The heat is on. Yeah.
Did
you see the new Axel F. Beverly Hills Cop Part 11 on Netflix? Have you seen it yet? The heat is on.
I have not. Should I? I have Netflix. Who doesn't? And should I stream it and watch it on here? Do you recommend it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Kelly and I watched it. It's one of those. It's harmless and it's kind of fun. You see everyone again, and it's like a high school reunion. It's like that.
Is it like Maverick? Back. I enjoyed Maverick.
Yeah. Maverick was better. A better movie. The better movie. This is basically the same old Beverly Hills Cop, but they're older. Same music. They bring the same soundtrack back. And they got all the people popping up for no reason. You got Surge and whatever. I mean, it's like, oh, there he is. That looks. So it's just seeing them all again. I don't know. Is it fun? It's okay. Is it good? I mean, you wouldn't want to pay for it. Let's put it that way. If you went to the theater and sat there, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
But you're paying for it because you're paying for streaming. So you might as well watch it.
Might as well watch it. I saw a trailer for The Joker. That looks good. The new Joker movie coming out this fall.
Is Joaquin Phoenix?
Of course. Yeah. And Lady Gaga is in there.
Not too many pop singers can make the jump. Madonna doesn't have the acting chops.
No. Well, she did Star is Born. She was great.
Gaga.
So Gaga can.
She had some chops. Yeah.
But
it looks
good.
I didn't see the movie. I saw scenes, and I said, "Oh wow, that's Lady
Gaga." You didn't
see
Star is Born?
I saw the original with Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand.
Well, the original was what's her name? Judy Garland.
Judy Garland.
Yeah, the Christopherson one was good. That was supposed to be. They wanted Elvis, and fucking Colonel Parker fucked it all up.
Wow.
But Elvis would have been amazing. Imagine that, having Elvis in a movie like A Star is Born. That'd have been great.
Wasn't Elvis dead by then, or?
No, he was very much alive. He was in Vegas.
He was. It was the drugs, a lot of drugs.
But the Colonel said no to it because it wasn't an Elvis quote unquote movie.
Even though his career was kind of
right. But in Colonel Parker's mind, Elvis is the star, not Barbara Streisand. But anyway, the new one was good. She's good. Anyway, that Joker looks fucking great. I love that whole thing. Because you don't know, even still, did any of this happen? It's like the first one. Maybe he's just a guy in a mental institution who thought of all this shit. You never know any of it happened. So that'll be good. And that's only in the theaters, which I like. I'm not going to stream. Like I wanted to see Planet of the Apes, and it's already out of the theaters. Now I'm going to have to see it on Netflix or whatever. I never got a chance, and I looked when I was home, and it's gone.
After the pandemic, the movie theaters had a little resurgence because they were dying, and I think it's starting to die again.
It's another thing. Younger, they don't think of it. The people go to movies are people like our age, and that's not enough to support it.
It was a special event always. For years, I was good for 2 movies a week, especially as a comedian. You're gathering.
Especially living in New York, in the city.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Hey, Tom Cotter. Hey, let's go. We can go to a movie and have some Chinese food. But he would say "gook." It was great, but I can't. I have to edit that out now.
I was getting weird when the assassin for Trump that kept saying slope. I was like, I don't know, can we say that on TV? Back in the day, that wasn't an appropriate term.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what Charlie was called in Vietnam.
Oh,
but now we're talking about roofs. It's different. I remember being in New York in the early 90s. And John Shipman and I went to see Planet of the Apes. It was like a day of Planet of the Apes. I think they ran 5 ape movies in a row.
Yeah.
And old Tom Cotter was like 3 people ahead of us online. It It was one of those go ape for the day, and we were there like at noon. It was awesome, noon till 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, because when we were kids, we were watching them probably on TV, and they were all chopped up. So to see them in a movie theater uninterrupted,
it was great.
Potter was probably high. He liked to have a few tokes.
He was. I think we were all feeling pretty good on that line at noon.
I would have a couple of hits from this joint.
Why not?
I gotta go. I just need a little bit. I just need a little bit and a beer. That was my thing. I just two hits and a beer and I'm fine for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. I had the night off last night. I had a half a gummy. I sound like a fucking 80-year-old man. I had half a gummy and and I had a cigar, but it was great. And like you realize I don't even need a cocktail. Like I like a cocktail, but I don't need one. I'm kind of high and I'm having a cigar and I'm looking at my phone. I felt great, and those are I was never a weed guy. And these things I love it, man.
It helps you sleep too, right?
Completely. Best sleep of my life. And
I'm still doing the melatonin. I do like
wow.
I have 3 milligrams. I cut them in half. I do 1.5. And it does. It gets me there.
It gets a half of melatonin.
Yeah, I get 6 hours,
Yeah, that's all you need? 6?
No, I need 6 hours. I need 7. But without the melatonin, I've been doing 4 up to and sleeping 3. Not good.
Remember Jay Leno was always like, I sleep 2 hours a night. And it's like, oh, no, you don't. I mean, what the fuck is that? I sleep 2 hours. I write jokes all day.
I think Trump and Leno, I think they are the 3-4 hour sleep. That's it.
You see that video, Trump and Bryce and DeChambeau, the golfer. He's got a YouTube channel now where he plays with a celebrity and they try to break 50. It's called Under 50. Dude,
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. And anyway, he's got Trump on this week. And the thing's got like 50 million views in 24 hours. So it's unbelievable.
This guy's already that's like $1 million plus $2 million just for Trump coming on.
Yeah, but he doesn't need. I mean, this is one of those guys. He joined Live Golf. He got $200 million just to join Live. Mm-hmm. So he's living the life. This guy, and he's a Trump fan. So he brought Trump on. But this video is just blew up overnight. Because you got all the people who hate him. They just want to watch it and make fun of him. And then you got all the people who love him. Did we discuss the assassination? I don't even remember now because we're all over the map and
I know.
I'm traveling, you're traveling.
We touched upon it.
We did. Did you see the trial? Not the trial, the hearings of the broad who's the
Secret Service director who's resigned. Yeah. I mean, how did you not know she was not going to resign? It was like she's going to resign.
Why did she go to the hearings? She had no information. She had no answers, and everyone was like, "You have to resign. You have to resign."
Yeah, both sides were saying it. That's why even at she went to the convention, Republican convention, and the Republican senators were badgering her. I'm like, why would you even put yourself through that?
Again, I don't remember in the old days. I don't want to be one of these people, but it's happening to me. So in my day, but remember contempt of Congress? You'd be in contempt if you didn't answer questions. And now they just let them not answer anything, and it's fine.
And nothing they can insult people.
Nothing happens. Yeah. But that thing, I don't want to get into conspiracies, but either it was, they were all in on it, or the level of incompetence is so overwhelming that I don't know how someone like Trump or Harris or whoever would feel safe. I mean, they missed this. That is unacceptable.
Well, when you have
150 yards away with a rifle.
When you have supporters saying, "Hey, there's a guy on the roof. There's a guy on the roof. He's got a rifle." I mean,
you telling me they didn't?
10 minutes. 10 minutes before that, and then they said we have a suspicious person that we can't locate. Trump, don't go on. They didn't even do that.
They didn't do that. They didn't say hold off for 20 minutes. We got to take care of something. And the cop had engaged with the kid, and the kid put the gun to him, and the guy dropped off and. They know he's up there, and they still allow this to happen. And then they go to the kid's house and they're saying
like,
the house is pristine and it's been wiped down.
Hold on.
It's like, well, what's happening now?
Unstable. Probably from the
You're
fire.
Unstable.
Excuse me. Yeah, I didn't understand. It's so easy to draw these conclusions of conspiracies because it's just.
But this one, they're kind of giving it to us on a platter. It's like, here it is. I mean, none of this makes sense.
I'm still going to go with the basic. It's just some kooky kid, you know. Yeah. But why was he allowed to fly a drone?
No,
2 days
prior? Too many. No, and the house, his parents' house, they've gone to, all wiped down, pristine house, and they're talking about the silverware drawer. No silverware. No. Like it was it looks like a phony house. Like they set this up like a safe house and then forgot to add the things you would need to make it a home. Doesn't this whole thing?
Yeah, no, but
stinks.
he grew up there. There's a whole history.
Is there?
Yeah, the neighbors. They interviewed the neighbors. You know,
did they?
You've
seen the interviews with the neighbors? They've known the kid his whole life. You've seen those interviews?
Yeah, there was a couple of snippets here and there of students saying, "Yeah," he goes, "One said he was always nice to me and polite," and then someone else said, he was a loner and he was bullied.
Why is the house wiped down? What's going on?
I don't know about the house being wiped down. I'm hearing this from you for the first time. What's is this a regular news story? Because I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, this was last night. I came upon it. I
had 3 shows last night, and I was trying to figure out how.
Well, you're doing 90 minutes. Yeah, I don't know how you did it. I couldn't do it. I'll be honest.
I got another one tonight, and I'm like, I'm actually telling people, if you've seen one of my shows,
3.5 hours different. Can't do it.
There were some people there watching me for the 3rd time. And I'm telling them, don't come to my shows anymore.
Yes.
I'm saying that. That's the opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to say, come to I have another show. It's the opposite.
Right.
Now, I mean, when they were asking,
they love you, but
they were asking for 90 to 100 minutes of material. And I said, I only have 75. Otherwise, it's all watered down and it doesn't put me in a good position. So they said, okay. And the only reason I'm here is because of the 2 paychecks.
I understand, but I wouldn't do it. Even the 2, like if I knew that or know of that now,
I'm trying. I
just don't want to put myself in that position because I can't do that.
I'm walking in here.
3:30.
I'm
different.
Trying them, even though I did another cruise with them. I'm trying them out. I'm not like, oh, I got to get this gig. I'm like, I'm trying you guys out. If
they're lucky to have you, is what you're saying.
I'm sorry. I know that sounds very corporate, but I'm here to say, if I'm going to come back,
that's right.
To me, to look the best that I can look, I can handle this, and I'm a pro. But drop the first show on the first night, adult one, and shorten them, and say encore performance. If you missed him this night, come see his adult show,
right?
And then say, hey, for the family shows. This is going to be different from the adult show, but that's also a repeat performance. So this way here, I'm doing an hour.
But it's not hard.
Minutes.
That's on the cruise director, because that's not hard to say, and that's very easy.
They say
you should know that.
They say that he doesn't understand. He thinks you're like a band. Just do a bunch of songs.
Right. Oh, okay.
Songs.
Sure.
He doesn't get the concept of stand-up comedy.
No one does. Most of these people don't. You know, so anyways, that's why they add shows for us. I'm
already sending an email to my agent saying, hey, just a heads up.
Yeah.
To relay this.
Right.
The first shows are going great, but people keep coming back. And I had people come back for a 3rd show thinking it was going to be totally different. And I did manage to do 20 minutes of different material, but there was a good 10, 15 where it was like, couple of jokes.
Did you notice?
Huh?
Like when you did the stuff you've done, was
Yeah,
there a drop going, oh,
yeah, and I
we know
think
that?
also psychologically I didn't commit to it because
Right.
I'm
You
like,
didn't
oh,
exactly.
who's
You're a
heard this
little,
one before, you know?
right.
Oh, I said,
Right.
who's seen my show in the theater at 8:30? And then this section, I go, who saw my adult show? And that section. I'm like, I'm psychologically putting bookmarkers
Mhm.
in it, and I'm like playing it differently. So I'm not fully
Yeah.
committed,
No, I
psychologically.
get it. I get it. It's in your mind, of course. And it's like in the comedy club here, and you've done the comedy club enough on Royal. We get a lot of the people come back and they want you to do the same act so everyone, quote unquote, can see it. But you have the same people there and they come up to you and go, hey, we saw you 3 times. And you go, okay. But in my head, I'm like, I just supposed to do the same act. But in your head, you're like, I don't want to just do the same material they've heard. So you feel like you have to come up with something new for them. But meanwhile, there's 100 people who haven't seen you.
Right. As someone
So
pointed out,
it's a weird thing. Like,
one guy said to me, he goes, well, this is our first time here. Him and his girl.
Right. Right.
Well, you're going to have a blast. What do you say?
Right. But that's the thing. Like, I worked with some guys who, the older guys, when I was starting more on ships, and they were like, they don't care. They were like, I just do my act. And if you're going to come back and see it, that's on you. Yeah. But there's always going to be people who haven't seen you yet.
But
have to give them your
here they're promoting
material.
They're making it seem like it's fuzzy, like it's all new, and it's like no.
That's on them. That's terrible. Bad job by that cruise director, Mario, whatever his last name was. Yeah, not good, man. Not good. But 2 checks, 7 days. That's I don't know if it's worth it. It's almost worth it.
I'm going to give them my notes, and I'm going to say. The other cruise ship I did for you.
Here's my notes.
I go, I'll be happy to go back there if they're going to keep that. That cruise director is great. That cruise director came up to me and he said this from another cruise ship. It's called the Seashore. And he said...
the Seashore?
Yeah. And he said, the MSC Seashore. Good luck. He said, he goes, I never put comedians on the first night. I'm going to put you on the theater. It's going to be packed. You'd be like mid-cruise. It was ridiculous. It was too easy, Too easy.
I don't know what that means.
That's great. What I'm saying is
too easy.
I had tons of material left over I never got to. It's just the crowds are great. They were energized.
Okay.
Because it's 1,000 people. This is a big ship. This is a big ship.
Right.
So he goes, but not like the ones out of Miami. It's too many, and they don't know the cruise directors don't know comedy. And he's telling me all this. This is 5 weeks ago, and then I get here, and it's exactly the same. And I was told, he said, "You're the first white comic we've had."
White.
3 months.
Wow.
And so I don't know what that meant. These are things they're just saying to me. I'm like,
You're the first white comic we've had in 3 months?
I don't know.
Wow.
It's a diverse audiences.
I don't know what he meant by that.
I don't know. We have a mixed crowd though. We have we have white, Latino.
You should have said, well, my father was black. And then he just kind of froze and get weird.
No, it's a nice little mix, so it's great. But in that regard, but it's not like. But they said a lot of Europeans will come here because it's Miami, and it's cheap to take this cruise. And they'll do like 3 to 4 days in the United States, and then they'll take a 3 or 4 day cruise.
Right.
And he said, and most of them don't. Like one person in the group speaks English and will translate.
What is the cost, for a 3-day MSC out of Miami?
I saw $299 per person, double occupancy. So $600 for an inside cabin, no balcony.
Right.
And then it would jump up. Then it would jump up to whatever.
And do they have specialty dining and all the add-ons that other, do they have that kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
They have all that stuff. But
so internet, 600, that's not. I mean, it's not bad.
Internet drink package, everybody's got a drink package. That's the way to go. Because these are booze cruises. These are 3 and 4 day cruises. So everybody.
I don't care, even if you don't drink a lot. You got to get like when Kelly was on, we were like, because we don't drink that much, but the drink package was so worth it just to be able to get any drink you want anytime. All the coffees, smoothies, water, just walk by and get waters. It was worth it.
Now I do have that completely. As a performer. They give that to me.
What is that?
I get all my beverages. I get draft beer, red and white wine, specialty coffees, water, and Italiano, agua panna, Tuscany. All free. It's all complimentary. I don't pay any gratuities automatically.
Oh, wait a second.
I gave my guy $20 like day one out the door. And I go, I only need you like once. So
we need you on that bed once, you son of a bitch. Take care of daddy, and then here's $20 and hit the road.
No, you know you want it.
You know you. What if the guy's like, no, I don't. I don't care for it. No, you know you want it. Not really. Not really even into them at all. You want it, son of a bitch. That's pretty good, actually. What's the Wi-Fi? What a Wi-Fi going for? What kind of charges?
You get 40% off, and it's a little less expensive than our Royal, as you know.
Well, everything's less expensive than Royal's Wi-Fi. Yeah. Let's be honest.
So this one,
that's pretty good.
I usually wait till midnight. I don't get internet the first day just to save that extra $25-$30.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But that's not bad. All the booze or the wine and the coffees, that's pretty good. Pretty good savings right there.
And no automatic gratuity. So I'm giving the guy wants cash direct. You know.
It's over $200 right there. You're saving.
Right.
Which is pretty nice. Because I got coffee today. I got regular free coffee through it in this Yeti, and it's terrible. Whereas if I go buy a coffee, though, I can't use the crew area here. So I'd have to, I'm going to pay $9 at Starbucks. And if you do that every day, that's $65 in a week. I mean, on top of all the other things, then, I'm going to walk out of here with a $500 bill.
Yeah, I've been consistently walking out with between $300 and $350, sometimes $400.
Crazy. Yeah. Exactly.
Now they don't give you a per diem here. You hand in all your receipts and they pay for your taxis and your
in cash. They give you some cash money.
No, I submit it for reimbursement.
Oh, I see. Because like Carnival, I don't know if you worked Carnival, but you give them your receipts on the ship.
Yeah,
and they give you cash for it.
That used to be with Norwegian, Celebrity, and Disney when I worked for them in the beginning. It was like you bring your receipts and you put them up, and they go, "Okay, here you go."
Wow,
I'm like, what?
I can't believe you were clean enough to work Disney. Like I couldn't even imagine that.
They were trying to recruit me and offered me, but I didn't want it because I didn't care for it. So I asked for an astronomical amount of money, and they said nope.
What if they had said yes? Then what happens?
I would have done it, but tried it and see if I could make the adjustments.
Hey, speaking of money like that, remember I sent you an email. There's some kind of scam going on because another comic posted a similar thing on some group, but it was somebody saw our talking out this podcast, 2 Hours, 1 Pod, on Instagram, then wrote me a thing saying, we like your humor. We'd like you to work at a corporate gig. Blah, blah, blah. And they were going back and forth, but I knew it was bullshit. But then I wrote, what is your budget? And I never heard back from them again. But someone else wrote the same thing put it on Facebook. But my thing is, what is the scam? I can't figure it out. Like,
isn't that where they go? We're gonna wire you some money.
But it never got to anything.
Give us your routing number and all that.
I was hoping it would lead to, it never got to that. But did they just think, the fuck him when I asked for what's the budget? I mean,
now I heard that if you give them your money and they wire it to your account, they have a few hours to pull it back out. And there's something about a scam with that. And I think Rondell got
So you
caught
think
up in
comics are going okay? You think comics are getting a random corporate gig email and then forwarding their routing information? I mean, you think really that's
if
happening?
it gets that far,
Wow.
I just assume do
I can't
Venmo or PayPal. Just
Venmo it. Yeah, Venmo me half the, whatever.
a deposit.
Deposit and let's go. But I couldn't figure the angle here. I was like, well, what are you getting out of
There's
this?
something
If I
about
say
getting your
yes to it,
information. There's something about
how are you getting my money? I'm getting paid.
They might even be trying just to get your identity
Yeah.
and then try, falsifying something. I don't know.
They dropped off.
I received a letter a few years back saying, we just need one more document and we'll give you your student loan for X amount of dollars. Someone stole my identity and we're filling out paperwork.
That was me.
That was you. How
I did
that. How was the 50 grand?
I blew it in Vegas.
You bought it on a
one
Yeti.
night. Yeah. One night in Vegas. It's funny how Vegas, like everyone's been to Vegas. Not everyone's been to Vegas. When people go to Vegas, most people, like guys like us, you go to Vegas, some gambling, a couple drinks, blah, blah, blah. But everyone always has a Vegas, like cocaine and hookers. No one's done that. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody we know has really snorted coke off a hooker's ass and killed her afterward, stuck her under the bed and, played craps all night.
Well, you are working with Derek
Richards. It doesn't happen.
So you're working with Derek Richards. So, there's anything possible.
I guess.
I got to edit it again.
That was you, dude. I didn't say a fucking word. You started making your own work here. We were in Coco Cay the other day. I'm in my room. And I hear crowds going nuts. People are screaming and running. And I pull open the curtains. It's still kind of early. And they're all running back because it was raining. It's like,
we're going to get wet. They're on their way to the beach. They're on the way. There's a water park.
A lot of them were in the water in bathing suits with towels. And now they're running because the water's coming from the sky instead of like, what is going on here?
That never made sense to me. I've witnessed that a few times. It's like, what are you doing?
You're in the best clothing you could be in.
Ride it out. Hot. 10 minutes.
It's raining. I don't
10 minutes. It passes and then you dry off.
Yeah, they were freaking out. They were screaming, and of course, they only had one gangway open, so because the other one was leaving, so everyone's lined up. They were losing their shit, and it's like you're in bathing suits.
The only thing I can think of is if it was what I forgot what kind of cloud it is, where it's like ice crystals very high up, and then by the time they get down, they melt, but it's cold.
That's different, but this is Coco Cay, July.
Yeah, it could still happen.
It seems like it would feel good, but you're in the best clothing possible.
Sure.
What's the problem? You know what I mean?
Ew.
But yeah, that's a joke too. I worked on. It doesn't really work. How come you can wear nothing on the beach? Basically nothing, and that's fine, and no problem. But if I walk down the hall and your door was open, and I look at you and see you, you would scream and call security. Yeah, only because there's water. That's the angle. I don't have anything more, but that was the angle. Like water makes everything okay to be naked, but if you're in a room or something, you can't be naked with that. You need water. Okay, Al's not interested in this joke.
No, we were talking about identity and all that, and all of a sudden my thing just went up. Said an Uber is arriving now.
Yeah.
Together we're on the way. Who's doing? What's today? What day of the week is it?
This guy's fucking. It's like doing a podcast with
Holy
a
shit.
Goddamn Alzheimer's patient.
Well, why is there an Uber
Mr.
on the way?
Magoo glasses on. There's an Uber. He's calling an Uber in Nassau. Dude,
let me figure this out.
Yeah,
we can pause.
How about doing it when we're not on the pod?
I want to get to the bottom of it.
The bottom of what? I'm just gonna stay quiet and watch you
I'm texting my significant other and ask her if she's ordering an Uber now, but she has her own account.
Mm. She didn't ask Daddy for permission.
All right. Someone's obviously broken into and scamming me, so we'll have to figure it out. All right, I'll figure it out after we're done. I think we're wrapping it up, and then I'm going to find out who stole my identity.
All right.
So how much longer are you on this vessel?
I leave on Sunday. Today's Thursday, so we do 3 tonight, 2 tomorrow, 1 Saturday, and then I get home Sunday, and my lovely niece Hannah is arriving Saturday. Kelly will pick her up, and she'll be at the condo when I get home on Sunday. So she's going to stay with us for a few days and hang out. And
that's always a fun visit.
That'll be a fun time. And and then I'm home for just 6 days or 7 days, and then back to Icon for 2 weeks. And then I added a week too on something else. I'm doing like 3 weeks. So
this is very unusual for you. You're just socking away the money.
Socking it away, man. Got to make the dough. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. When I just got another offer actually for a shorty, because I was looking forward to being home for 3 weeks.
Yes.
And because I've been away so much, and then
the shipping company call you.
Do you want to go? Do you want to do a 3-day or a 4-day? Are you interested? They said. So I knew it wasn't definite. I said I'm interested for a shorty, absolutely, to go up to New England. And they said, okay, all right, didn't work out this time. Next time, I'm like, okay, but I was kind of relieved.
That's a lot of flying though for a 3-day. That with flying, that's like a 5-day.
Yeah.
Right. You get overnight.
And it was New England too. It was out of Boston. So
that's what I mean though. You'd have to overnight.
Yep.
So that's 4 days. And then that 5th day home is a full day travel home.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's 5 days away from home.
A week is 8 days.
8 days a week.
Yeah. 9 days almost because of the travel.
9 days a week.
So think about that. 5 days versus 9 days. Same money.
Oh.
Because you have to do the same travel and whatnot. You got to do the overnights. Blah, blah, blah. It's still happening though. They're flying all these people back east to go to Alaska, and they're flying me. I'm sorry, from back east to go to Alaska, and they're flying.
I can't understand it. I never will understand it. I spent last summer flying Tampa to Newark, and what are you gonna do? That's why.
But at least that's the same time zone.
Yeah, but still, there's no reason for it. You have New York comics; they don't have. They could just take a cab, and or an Uber. To
I think a lot of people requested Alaska too. That's what.
Did they? Yeah. I went the other way.
And then I think
Alaska.
I think they do 2 cruises, and they go, okay, I'm good. And then they go, well, you got 6 more. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I love the pictures of guys in raincoats, freezing, holding a crab leg, going, love it. So happy to be back. It's like, are you really? Okay, all right. You're really thrilled to be back, huh?
I enjoy it when I have a guest or I'm with Bernie, and
yeah.
Other than
that, the guy's hiking 8 miles up and seeing.
I like it initially on my own.
One of them's going to die.
It's so much more enjoyable when you have a guest. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, though? These guys are hiking like way too far up, and they're seeing bears and shit. We're going to lose an entertainer.
Randy Cabral dragged me to the Upper Dewey, which I haven't done in 15 years. Yeah. It's 4.5 hours up.
Fuck that.
It's 2 hours back.
No.
It's crazy. And he's doing it weekly. And he turned the corner and there's a moose just standing there. And he saw
this is what I'm saying.
Two black bears,
these guys.
two moose. Your heart starts
racing. Fuck around and find out. They think, hey, I'm just hiking. Look at me. I'm up in the middle of Alaska. Well, one of these times you're going to die.
Yeah, the moose is on the path eating, and then it was eating, and he's filming it.
And he sees a juggler.
And then it just turns and looks at him, and he's like...
Right. He sees a fucking 4-foot juggler. He's going to... that's a nice snack.
No, they trample you. They go like this.
And then they fucking eat you.
And The moose don't eat you; they just trample you and they crush you.
They don't
break
eat
your
you.
bones.
Why don't they eat? Yeah, that's good.
They're vegetarians.
Are they really? I didn't know that. The moose is a vegetarian?
Yeah, I think horses and moose are the most muscle stacked animals that are vegetarians. It's just so bizarre to see them so muscular and so big, and they just they eat plants.
People say that when you see a moose, you don't realize how big, like in TV or movies, but
no,
in person, they say you don't. Because I picture a moose almost as like a horse,
right?
You know, in your head, and they say it's just tremendous. Like
it's too, oddly shaped. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's like a hippo. That's the most dangerous fucking thing out there.
I think that's
we don't know that.
More people are killed by hippos than sharks, lions,
that's right.
Tigers.
That's right. Yeah, and they're fast. They're really fucking fast.
In the water, you don't have.
They look slow as shit, and they're mean. They just want to kill you. They're meaner than sharks.
And their mouths apparently.
Like sharks will bite you, but
like great whites.
Yeah, the hippo wants to kill you.
Yeah.
So I keep myself out of those positions.
They don't want to eat you. They want to kill you.
They want to kill you. Yeah, I don't want to be around that. So it's
shark
like when
wants
I'm in
to
Jamaica.
Eat you.
When I'm in Jamaica, I stay in the guarded area. I don't go past the gates because I don't want to be stabbed. When I'm in Alaska, I go to a crab shack, and I'm not going up in the woods. You don't have to put yourself up in crazy positions to die.
I do enjoy the hiking and the nature. I do.
All right. Well, when you get killed by a moose, don't come running to me. I try to warn you. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we're wrapping this up. Obviously, we've run out of steam.
Go find out who stole your Uber account.
Well, it's so weird.
Yeah, I ordered an Uber. I'll admit it.
Unless it's just a fishing expedition.
I need an Uber to Juggies. It's too hot out to walk. I could get that water taxi. I don't know. Do I want to go? I don't think so.
There's a restaurant bar on the way, like only 1/3 of the way. It's called Winchester's or something like that. Is it? It's right on the.
Where's that?
Harbor. You turn left.
Are you talking about where like the mountains are on the right side?
Yeah, it's on the left, right in the water.
Okay, I think I know where you're. Yeah.
But you're gonna have to drop $50.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
All right, stay on the ship.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Nothing. And if you have any tips for us, send them or
peace.
Ask us questions.
So long, man. Have a good trip. F*** you.
Iceberg dead ahead. Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series.
This is the Two Owls, One Pod podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary. This was a horrible mistake.
Go to patreon.com/forward2dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.